Hey guys, so this is my last and final speech, our persuasive speech, and today I have my roommate Megan filming for me. So the past few weeks I have given a lot of speeches on different kinds of food and why they should eat them and just the whole realm of nutrition, and I actually wanted to finish off the speech class with talking about restrictive dieting and a healthy lifestyle change. So I have struggled with diet since I was in high school. I had a really unhealthy view of what it looked like to live healthy. I thought that meant running 5 miles every day and eating as little as possible. I was really restrictive with my food, no sugar, very low carbs, not eating after 8 p.m., never going out to eat because I was always scared that I would overeat. And so I've had a lot of mind change since then. I've become more comfortable with my diet and exercise, and I have a new healthy view on that, but that doesn't mean I don't still struggle, because I definitely do. I still have those moments where I feel guilty for eating something, but then I realize that my body needs fuel. So today I want to talk about why fitness change and eating habits are more effective than the next fad diet out there. There's a lot of diets circling around, a lot of diets that restrict your carbs, restrict your sugar, a lot of things that you need, restrict protein even, and those are all things that are good for your body. Excess weight is actually caused by intaking too many calories. So you intake more calories than you burn throughout the day, and that's called a caloric surplus. The opposite is a caloric deficit, and that's where you burn off more calories than you intake. And that's what happens when you start to lose weight. But the thing is that the human body burns calories even while just sitting, while breathing, even while sleeping. We even burn calories through digesting food, which is kind of crazy because you're putting calories in and you're burning them even while you're digesting. The human body is really amazing in that way. But people don't know that. They think that the only way to burn calories is to work hard or to completely restrict your diet. So if you're not someone who enjoys working out all that much, you don't technically have to be super worried about this, considering you don't burn calories just through working out. But something my mom always said to my brothers and I growing up is you can't outrun your own fork. That pretty much means that you can't outrun the food that you put in your body, or not easily anyway, unless you want to be spending 5 hours at the gym every day, which nobody does. 2 hours is good for me. Less than 2 hours is even better. But a lot of people don't enjoy the gym, so it's good news that you don't always have to go there just to lose weight. This is kind of where the diet industry gets us. They tell us that in order to eat in a caloric deficit, that you have to cut out all the quote-unquote bad stuff. I hate that term because they're labeling food good and bad just completely starts a restricted diet. There's food that has more nutrients than others, but that doesn't mean you can't eat the other one and you have to feel bad about it. So Mary E. Pritchard talks about how when you eat in a restrictive diet, you pretty much, for example, if you were saying, okay, well, I'm gonna have a smoothie for breakfast, and then I'm gonna have a salad for lunch, and then I won't eat anything until dinner, and then you plan out your whole day and you say, I won't eat any sugar at all. But the thing is, when you tell yourself that you don't want those things and you keep yourself from having them, you want them even more. So then instead, when you see like someone's having a slice of cake, then you want that piece of cake even more because you tell yourself you can't have it. So then you decide to have one, and then you think, oh, well, I already had one, so what's the harm in two? And then after that, you feel guilty about it. But when you have a lifestyle change and a mindset change of eating well and letting your body have things that it wants, but in moderation, you can be like, okay, I can have that piece of cake, but later on that means that I'll have, let's say, broccoli slaw instead of pasta. But then if you have pasta, maybe that night you won't have ice cream. It's super simple like that, just balancing out your food. And obviously I'm not saying that I have some magical formula to have you eat whatever you want to eat and be totally fine, because that's not true. Like I said before, you just have to balance switching things out for one another and saying, okay, well, I had this today, so then I won't have this later, but I could have it tomorrow instead, which is totally fine. It doesn't mean that you can't ever have it. That's the problem with our culture and diet culture, saying that you can't have these things in order to look this certain way, which is a lie that I bought into myself. So how do you eat in a caloric deficit while still living your life and enjoying what you eat? So this is through moderation and treating your body with love. Your body needs nutrients, it needs calories, it needs carbs, and carbs are super good, so why not eat them? But it's all in balance. So while cardio is good for your heart and good for endurance, and it burns off calories quickly at first, it's super fast in burning off calories, it only burns it in that moment that you're working out. So say that you had 300 calories in the morning before you went and worked out, and then you went and burnt it off. Okay, great, now you're at 0 for the day. But then you go and you eat 2,000 calories for the rest of the day, but you burn it up, you burn a little bit of it off through breathing, digesting, like we talked about before, normal day things, but you're still gonna be in a caloric surplus. So the key to this is mixing cardio and weights. So the more the more muscle you have, according to BJ Gowder, who writes for Men's Health magazine. This also applies for women, of course, because muscles work the same. The more muscle mass you have, the more calories you burn while you're resting. So while you may burn calories right away while you're running, biking, hiking, doing any sort of cardio, you go do weights, and then afterwards, while your body's repairing itself and everything like that, you're still burning calories. So that's why weightlifting is more important and is actually very beneficial for your health, because it's better in the long run for you. I didn't know that until last year even, which was a big surprise to me because I was such a cardio bunny. I just wanted to run 5 miles every day and be done and then eat super restrictive. But then my brother asked me, he said, how come you never lift weights? And I was like, oh, well, that's because I don't get the same kind of, sweat, same kind of workout that I would get just by running, not the same satisfaction right after. But then I learned that it's way better for your body, and your body's able to maintain it even more than just doing cardio all the time. So whether you do cardio before, you do cardio after, you do weightlifting, it's a good mixture of the two. So, excuse me. So personal trainer Dave Smith kind of talks about the 80-20 rule. So 80% of your results are going to come from 20% of your effort, and that 20% of the effort is the food that you choose to eat. Most of your results are going to come from just a little bit of your effort. Isn't that crazy? You have to start cleaning out poor food choices and replacing them with more nutritious food. Diet culture tells us that the only way to be healthy and stay fit is to eat less, be restrictive, and work out more. But that is not attainable. You can't do that for the rest of your life and live happy.